Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to have you join me with Giselle, who's going to be reading her poem today. She should be here any minute. Um, have you been reading a wonderful book? I have been reading The Book of Delights by Ross Gay, and there's a thought in there. He talks about um, how the more things you love. Hi.
Hi, Allison.
Hi, Giselle. It's so good to see you. What
You
a treat.
too. I know. Happy holidays. How are
You
you?
too.
Good.
Giselle is far away. We used to live very close to each other, but now she's far from here. So this is a treat to see her, even if it's here. And not real life, but it's still lovely to see you.
You too. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited.
Oh, well, I'm very excited. Do you want to say anything before you read it, or you just want to go for it?
I'll just go for it.
Okay.
Okay. Um, okay. Where I'm from. I am from recycled food containers with leftovers instead of yogurt, from watered down dish soap and Vicks. I am from mold seeping through the bedroom walls, moist, cold. I can't stop sneezing. I am from avocado trees with brittle branches and ripe avocados I pick for lunch. I am from winters at 2218 Steinway's cul-de-sac, from Doña Chanda and Mama Gema. I am from sarcasm and you'd be beautiful if only you had my green eyes. From Calladita te ves más bonita, and I was born a sinner because of the goddamn forbidden fruit. I am from the land of eternal spring, black beans, and tortillas. From my parents' marriage before they were of age, adulting overnight, leaving abusive childhoods, trying to break vicious cycles, only to get sucked right into one. I find old remnants of this girl, all my journals tucked away in my old bedroom, forgotten moments and feelings written on purple, flowery journals and composition notebooks. I am from those pages, written to remind me of how strong I really was. Thank you. Yay. Thank
You
you.
did
I was a
it.
little I was a little nervous reading it, if you can tell.
I'm sending you a virtual hug. I
Thank
know you were
you. Thank
nervous.
you.
So,
I was. It was a really, I really appreciate this. It was hard to, dig deep, obviously, and having the prompt was really helpful, but it was also, I don't know, it was hard because I tried to filter it. I kept changing it. No, no, this is too real. This is too, is it going to hurt someone? Is it, but it's really what came from the heart. And I was like, no, this is what it is. And I have to leave it. So I was very excited. So thank you for letting me share and
oh,
dig
it's my
deep for
privilege.
sure.
I mean, to be honest, like it's completely my privilege. I was just saying before you jumped on that I'm reading this book, The Book of Delights by Ross Gay, and he talks about how the more things we love, the happier we'll be. And for me, this is like a scheduled thing where I get to just feel like gratitude and love because I love hearing people's stories. And I love it when people dig deep. And it got me when you talked about the green, being told you'd be born beautiful if you had green eyes, because that's something you shared with me, now I guess it's years ago. Geez, time
Yeah.
flies. And um, when you shared that with me, then it gutted me because it's just a terrible thing that people do to kids that they tell them, oh, hey, if you were just a little different, you'd be better.
Hmm.
Um, Especially the things that we have no control over whatsoever, like the color of our eyes.
Yeah. And you keep it. I mean, I can tell you that I didn't realize how much that had affected me until a few years ago, and it started really getting to me. And I don't know, I guess talking about it really helps, and just like, no, that was a stupid comment, really. Like it shouldn't have. It was ingrained in me, for years, and I'm glad that I was able to process it. I mean, I'm still, there's still a lot going on in my healing journey for sure.
It's
But
ongoing for all of
yes,
us.
for sure. But I've been really trying to understand, and it's really not about me, it's about the other person. And that's helped a lot too. And I have, a good support system. And I think talking about it with my sisters has helped too, because we kind of all felt the same and in a different, we all had our experiences. Obviously, they're different, but in the end, we understand each other. So I think that's been helpful to be like, I have a support system, and it's nice to have that, in my healing journey for sure. But
For sure.
yeah, I was a little nervous about that comment because, you never, well, because it's not something you normally talk about,
I
it's
think it's so
not,
powerful though, because colorism, which that's a part of that is real. And I think the more people talk about it and raise awareness about these systems that are in place that sometimes we aren't aware of, I think
yeah.
it's really, I mean, I joke with my kids, like, I grew up in Southern California with brown hair, and that
Yeah.
was like kind of lame. I mean, no, and people, when I moved away from California, would say to me, "You don't seem like you're from California."
Mm. Like you
You
should
know,
look a certain
right?
way. Yeah.
Right.
Like,
Like we're all Nordic somehow.
yeah.
But which is
Yeah.
nothing. I mean, it's minor, but it's like it's in the air we breathe, right? This idea
Hmm.
of that there's one kind of beauty.
Yeah, and I see it with my kids too now, I feel like they're very similar to me, but I remember when my little one was born and he had like a blondish hair, a little bit, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's the, in Spanish we call it the canche, right? The white one or whatever." And I'm like, and I see how some people do like say things, and they're
Right.
trying to do damage control in the back. I'm like, I'm sorry, what do you mean? And I'm trying to like paint it different to my kids, but I can't, because I can't, I want to protect them, but I also know this is something that happens. And I hope it doesn't affect them. I hope that we can, address it so it doesn't really, like it has to me. It has been ingrained in me for many years. And I don't want my kids to feel that, or feel different from each other. And, um, it's
Well, and think
yeah,
of the awareness you have to say to them, that's not you, that's them.
yeah,
That's not your stuff. That's their stuff. Like you're both
hmm,
beautiful. Um,
yeah,
and you weren't told that. So that's something that you can do that I think, I mean, I say that to my kids a lot when I don't say stuff. I think
yeah,
they're old enough now that I say the
yeah,
other thing. That's not your shit. That's theirs. And
yeah,
I, I've, I see people do it, and I really noticed it when I had little kids, and we have friends of all different races and backgrounds, and I'd have certain friends who are Latinx, and they'd see like a blonde child who was also um, Latinx, and it'd be like, oh, they were the most like amazing, and it was, oh,
yeah,
okay, this is like really in there,
yeah,
and how I think I, I mean, think of all the baby dolls like most of us grew up with or that were around. Many of them were just blonde
yeah.
with blue eyes. That was the
Oh,
default of, you know,
hmm,
the best
yeah,
friend was, I was joking with them, in movies growing up, the heroine was always blonde,
mm,
and the best friend was always a brunette. She was smart, but nobody really liked her like that. And everyone was white.
mm, yeah.
I mean,
You know,
you know,
it's still to this day. I mean, I know there is a lot more awareness for sure, but it's still going on. Like we were
oh, for sure.
watching a movie with my sister, the new one with Leonardo DiCaprio,
Oh,
the
I
Don't Look
haven't
Up or
watched.
something.
I haven't watched.
Well, I don't want to spoil it now, but
You can spoil it. I'm
the
probably not
the
going to watch it.
yeah, it was kind of funny, but not, anyway, there was a moment where the person he cheats his wife with is blonde, and like super perfect looking, and then the wife is, brunette, and like, And then
It's
we
sad
talked
for
about
us.
that. We mentioned it. We're like, it's always this way, right? Like it's always like that. So it's definitely something that we all have to work as a collective, I think. And I don't know, little by little, we have to, like what we're doing with our kids, it's not about you, it's about them. And just, yeah, try to be mindful of that. I know I am a lot more aware now. And I'm living, I mean, this is a very conservative country, very religious. And it's still very much ingrained in everyone, so it's hard to go against the current when you're trying to, live your life as happy and, I don't know, at peace, I want to
Well,
be at
that's
peace
the
with
thing, right?
myself.
I mean, you feel like you don't want to be like that all the time, but colonialism is real and it's
Yeah.
infiltrated like
Yeah.
all of us.
Generations.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And you don't want to just be the
Yeah.
person who's like, okay, guys, all the time. Like, but at
Yeah,
this,
no.
but we do talk about it a lot. And
Yeah.
I think it's empowering
I think
because
so.
I read, oh God, I can't. It was someone I was talking to or listening to who's a college professor. I'm not going to be able to come up with it right now, but they were talking about how they have students, white students, who show up and are like, why didn't anyone ever tell me about all this
Mm.
systemic oppression, racism, and I think, well, okay, my kids won't be those kids, they know. And what a huge, like, shock to the system that is if you're
Mm.
18 years old and you're just starting to think about privilege, for example,
Yeah.
as a white person, you know. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I have to believe this for my sanity, but I also believe it. Like the little things we do in our lives do make a difference, because I mean we can't control the world and what's happening, and like for me in DC, I can only do my little bit here, and I'm trying to do the best I can with that, and that does give me hope, and
Yeah.
I feel it makes me feel like what I do matters. Where I think if I get involved in the whole like greater thing, I just feel like, oh, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I
It's
can't
not making
change
a
that,
difference.
you
Yeah.
know.
I
Um,
agree. I agree. I think I've had my moments where I'm just like, well, I'm just gonna give up. I can't do anything, It's not making a difference, but it is. And I see like some of the comments my kids make, or the conversations we have because we talk a lot, and I think that's really important. And for me, just seeing them at this age, 10 and almost 8, being really like aware, and they'll say things because I'm sure, they live in a society, right?
right.
But it's really, for me, it's really, I think empowering is a great word like you used right now, because I see that and I'm like, my kids are going to be like, they're not going to be that, the standard, like they're going to be the one, some of the kids that are going to raise questions, and like start conversations. And I think I'd love that. I want to see my kids be that person, that can make, I don't know. And if you can change one person's mind, or just, like I said, start the conversation. I think that's a wonderful thing. So I think that's great. We're trying, right?
Yes,
We're
we're having a conversation,
yes.
and I mean, I love these conversations. They keep me going, I don't really.
Yeah.
The other ones I get kind of bored, but like, that's
Yes.
why I'm grateful that you picked up the prompts and you did it. And I know that it was not easy, but I appreciate it because we each have a story to tell. And I think the more we own our own story, the more time we have to listen to others' stories. Like I
Yeah.
found myself the most resentful when I felt like I wasn't really in touch with what I wanted to say or who I was. So I think the more
Mm.
we like are in touch with what we are, who we are, the more space we have for others.
Yeah, and
Hopefully.
it's also like I'm at that point in my life where I don't want to waste time, like I want to be myself. I want to be happy. If I'm in a situation where nothing is coming out of it, I'm not, like, I want to be able to also give, but if I'm not bringing anything to the table, to your table, then,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe it's not working out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just not at that at point of wasting time anymore. I want to keep, living life. And it's hard if you're thinking of everyone and like, I mean, like, oh, what are they going to say? Or
Trying
who
to
are,
keep everyone happy. It's a
yes,
full-time
like
job, right?
you can't. But that's how I grew up.
Oh,
It's
for
like,
sure.
what are they gonna say, or what are No, I'm not at that stage anymore. So
I think that's
it's
empowering too.
yeah, it is. It's hard. It's hard,
Mm-hmm.
and it's definitely hard to see friendships go. We've talked about this too,
Mm-hmm.
having seen people leave your
Yep.
life because that's just how it's just it's you're not gonna betray yourself for to keep other people in your life. It just doesn't work that way. And I
Agree.
think I don't know. I don't know. We could, yeah. It's a lot.
I
It's a
just want to say
very
that Anne just said in the comments, Giselle, oops, sorry, we're overlapping. I don't want you to see it. She says, love this point. I don't want to waste time anymore. Bingo.
it's
That was just a
true.
comment. And
Yeah.
I think COVID
Mhm.
give us this gift if we want to receive it, you know?
Yeah.
We don't need
Yeah.
to waste time anymore. Who are we doing it for? Not
Hmm.
ourselves. And we're not doing anyone else any favors, like carrying on in these relationships that are inevitably going to pass, like,
Yeah.
so, um,
Yeah.
I want to
It's
say that I miss you and I
oh.
miss your kids. And when you were talking about them, I almost started crying. So, we are thinking of you from here. And I know other people will watch this who miss you too. So, it's a gift to have you join me. I just can't thank you enough. And is there
Thank
any last
you.
things you wanted to say? I just wanted to make sure I said that because I really was looking forward to this, and it's just wonderful to see your face and hear your voice.
Me too. No, I'm really thankful. I miss you too. I miss, it's been definitely a weird few, years to say the least, but I'm very grateful that you included me in this and that you let me, every time I talk to you, I know, it's hard now that we're far and everything, but I really appreciate like all the conversations and all the support you've given me. And, I'm very thankful for you. And I miss you too. I miss a lot of things. I think, we're at different stage in our lives, but I really do miss you. And I hope I get to see you soon in person and hug you. And,
Me too.
you know, thank you for letting me have this conversation. And I know, don't make me all sad. I don't, because then we can't stop, So no, thank you. Thanks, Alyson. I really, from the heart.
Thank you. Okay. Thanks for everyone who joined us
Thank
for sending
you.
love. And
Thank,
okay.
thanks, Alyson. I'll see you soon.
Okay, bye.